Ambassador Kethvar of the Zephyrian Dominion adjusted his ceremonial scales as he entered the Galactic Council's archives. The ancient repository contained millennia of diplomatic records, but he sought one particular file, the infamous human incident of 2387. "Curious about the mammals, are we?" wheezed archival keeper Thox, her tentacles dancing across holographic displays. "Most species learn that lesson secondhand these days." Kethvar's mandibles clicked nervously. "The Dominion is expanding toward their outer territories. My superiors believe humans are manageable, soft, even." Thox's eye stalks swiveled toward him with what might have been amusement. "Soft? Oh, young diplomat, let me show you why that word never applies to humanity." The first hologram materialized. A blue-green world orbiting a yellow star. Earth. Unremarkable, really. They call it the cradle of humanity, though by the time we made contact, they'd already seeded a dozen colonies. Standard expansion pattern for a developing species. The display shifted to show early diplomatic exchanges. Humans appeared smaller than most galactic species, lacking the natural armor of the Korthak or the psychic abilities of the Etherian collective. They seemed to smile constantly, a peculiar facial expression that many species found unsettling. "The first ambassadors found them pleasant enough," Thox continued. "Eager to trade, quick to laugh, remarkably adaptable. They integrated into galactic society faster than any species in recorded history. Within 50 years, human merchants were common across the spiral arm." Kethvar studied the peaceful images. "They appear docile. What changed?" The hologram darkened, showing a massive industrial complex on an asteroid. The hegemony changed everything. They were raiders, pirates who'd terrorized the outer rim for centuries. In 2387, they made a critical miscalculation. They attacked a human agricultural colony called New Vermont. The display showed the aftermath. Burning fields, destroyed settlements, thousands of casualties. Standard raiding tactics. The hegemony had done this to hundreds of worlds. But they'd never hit a human world before. What was the human response? Kethvar asked, though something in Thox's tone suggested he wouldn't like the answer. At first, nothing unusual. They filed formal complaints with the Council, requested peacekeeping intervention, followed all proper diplomatic channels. Very civilized. The Council, unfortunately, was dealing with the Andromedan border crisis and couldn't spare resources for what seemed like a minor piracy incident. The hologram shifted to show vast shipyards, factories working at impossible speeds, entire worlds transformed into war machines. That's when humanity taught the galaxy its first lesson. Never mistake patience for weakness. Kethvar's scales rippled with unease. They militarized? They did something far worse. They innovated. Within 6 months, human space was unrecognizable. Every civilian freighter became a potential warship. Every mining station converted to weapons manufacturing. They didn't just build a fleet. They became one. The display showed the final confrontation. 1,000 human vessels surrounding the hegemony's primary stronghold. But these weren't the elegant ships of other species. They were brutal, functional, covered in weapon systems that violated half the galactic conventions on warfare. The hegemony had superior technology, better shields, more powerful engines, Thox explained. It didn't matter. Humans don't fight like us. Where we see honorable combat, they see problems requiring solutions. They attacked from 17 different vectors simultaneously, using tactics no civilized species would consider. The result: total victory. But here's what terrified the galaxy. After the hegemony surrendered, humanity simply stopped. They dismantled their war fleet, returned to commerce and exploration, even offered aid to the defeated raiders. As if the most efficient military campaign in galactic history had been a minor inconvenience. Kethvar stared at the final images. Humans helping rebuild hegemony worlds, their warships converted back to cargo haulers. They showed mercy? They showed something more dangerous than cruelty, Thox corrected. They showed that they could become anything necessary and then choose to be something else. That level of adaptability, that capacity for transformation, it's not softness, young diplomat. It's the most terrifying trait a species can possess. The hologram faded, leaving Kethvar alone with his thoughts. He now understood why the Galactic Council's unwritten rule existed. Negotiate with humans, trade with humans, befriend humans if possible, but never, ever, give them a reason to remind you what they're truly capable of becoming. The lesson was simple. In a galaxy full of warriors, conquerors, and predators, humanity had proven they could out-evolve them all when necessary. That they chose not to was what made them the most respected and feared species in known space.